So, welcome to my talk about, this talk is probably the crash course into the functional streams of the Scala, the library that I've discovered last year and probably is my best tool in my Screwbox. So I use it, for example, Swiss Army knife in probably everyday solutions. So a few words about me. From the beginning, it's boring stuff. So I'm the senior software engineer and Adform, this ad tech company. So I'm part of the team that's responsible for writing machine learning platform for running real-time bidding algorithms for displaying ads. So here's my Twitter. Okay. So let's start from introduction. So my question is that what is the stream? Before we start with the deeply look into the library, so this is the definition from the dictionary, probably in the domain of computing, that stream probably can be transmit or receive data as steady continuous flow. So one of the other guys that I saw beautiful presentation, this guy is that former CTO of akka project, Dr. Roland Kuhn, describes stream as ephemeral flow of data focused on describing transformation, possibly unbound. I have much more simpler definition that stream for me is iterator on steroids. So where the steroids, it's all things that can be blown out the program because this is our side effects. So when we iterate and evaluating every single item, we probably need to operate with the outside world, and this is not easy process. So we need to control. So there are also two differences in the implementation between most of the stream libraries. So FS2 is the pool-based. It depends how we communicate with the source. So in the situation when we working with the pool-based solution, that we asking upstream about give me more elements. So on the opposite situation, for example, Monix implements that source producing the items, pushing these items to us, and we must decide if we can do something with that or not. So there is the third way, and akka does it. So in akka, do magical stuff and dynamically control between these two methods. Depends how data is produced. For example, if source is faster than sync, there is push method, there's switch to the pull method, in opposite situation, switch to the pulling. So, okay, that's all what you need to know about how stream works basically. So let's go to the API. If we open the documentation of FS2 project, we probably see this. This is all the classes in the core packages. But when we remove minor classes that is not interesting, this is very internal, that we see this. And after removing aliases and chunk class, which is their implementation of somehow like array, there is only two classes. So we need to know what is the stream class and what does this pull class. So let's start from the heart of the FS2. That is the stream class. Stream class have following the definition. There is two types. First type is that our effect type, F something, and O is the output. So if this is the definition from the API, so if the stream class producing output of type O, and which may evaluate of F effects. So if this F is pure, they cannot handle, for example, any side effects. The stream is pure. So this is example how it looks like pure stream. So we have three integers. We're defining the stream from the three integers. Then we need to compile that definition to the execution tree And then we materialize to the result by calling to list. So this aggregates the string into the list. So here's the result. So we can basically compose these streams like, for example, normal list on order Scala collections. So when we run this output is pretty obvious. So it's, we can go to the next example that is more complicated. So here we have example how we can do the zipping of items between two streams. This pretty much looks like every implementation by using normal Scala collections. So we cannot use any things that we don't understand if we know what Scala have. So when we run, the result is, of course, composition. OK, there's the moment. So we know everything about how to run on the pure streams. So right now, we need to have possibility to communicate with outside worlds, and it is introduced in this moment, so we need to evaluate something on the FFX. So we need to switch to I/O, probably to easier handling that. So in that example, I generate random number, because generating random numbers probably needs to communicate to the kernel for getting random number generated and the value from that, so we need to run I/O. So more or less, then we need to only run eval. So we can also use this for defining infinity stream. That is one of the features of the streaming itself, that we run repeat evaluation. And from this undefined stream, we take only 4 elements. So after run, we have a list of 4 elements. So there's one more thing that there's a very common pattern. So right here, we have stream that's output is the duration from the beginning of the stream. And I would like, instead of printing result of the stream after materialization, I want to print value of every item in the stream. So I need to do evaluation of side effect inside stream. So how to do that is very easy, because first I need to flat map, and then I need to produce single element stream that's its evaluation of that effect. And that operation is so common that have own alias called eval map, so we don't need to write every time this stream eval. OK, in the FS2, we have also possibility to fully control of the resource acquisition in our stream. So more or less, it works like same as in the I/O class. So we have bracket when we acquire, for example, here creating temporary file, then this is the definition how we release this resource. Then we print into the path to the file, and that's everything. So FS2 for me is have very good syntax and produce very expressive code. So this is the more complex example. So here we have. I use Dubi library for create a stream to the whole database of customers. So Dubi library integrates well with FS2, so I can use that feature. So here is the definition how to create the streams to the result from database, that the results should be mapped to the case class called customer. And I want to stream this result into the JSON, so the code is very consistent, and right here I need to create the outside world, the transaction required by Dubi library. Then it's my definition of root in the HTTP for a server. And then I need to start producing this proper JSON array with all of the results from database. So I only need, at the beginning, emit in the stream the left bracket. Then I compose next stream by creating connection to the database by acquiring this resource from transaction pool. Then I flat mapping with this connection to the database and fetching all these results as the stream. And for every item in that stream from Dubi, I need to map to the JSON, then interspace every item with the comma, and at the end I need to add the right bracket to have fully working solution. There is example that you can run in home, so that works. So that's all for the stream class. More or less it's the same as the other libraries. You can find very similar methods, and it's easy to explore. So the next class is the pool. So pool is the heart of FS2, where we want to control how to process the stream. So the pool, the definitions describes that it reads values from one or more streams, returns result of type R, but this result is not the result of the stream itself, but the result of the pool, and it's required when we're combining pool by combining one of the more pools. So there will be later in the example. And the last functionality is that produce stream f of O when we call stream method on that class. So I prepared a small example how it works. So right now we have stream from 1 to 10, and we want to calculate the sum of the every 4 elements in the stream and output this sum into the downstream. So right here is the definition. So here we switching processing every item in upstream into this our pool operator. That here is the definition what we need. We need the FFX, we need to A, which have monolith functionality because we need to do sum with that. Next argument is the window size, and we return the pipe. The pipe is the only alias where the function from stream into the second stream. So it's very easy. So right now, here is the definition of that class. So we go from the upstream with the subruntime, and after end we return these results as the stream. So inside this go method, at the beginning we're switching upstream stream into the manual control by calling pool method. Then we're taking item from that stream, which allowing us to take these fever elements because there can be a situation with corner cases. So from that method we have result as the option. It's the contract between us and FS2. So if the result is none, it means the upstream is done, is over, and there is no more results. So we also should close our stream and send to the downstream pull down command. So opposite situation, we have data, and the contract is that we have data that is the tuple. First argument is the chunk of the data, and the second argument is the result of the stream. So only thing we need to do is to calculate the sum by using fold left and combine operator from semi-group. Then output to the downstream that result. And after that, we recursively call ourselves with rest of the stream. So that recursion is for free because FS2 internally works on the free monad. So there is this is the stack safe operation. So we don't worry about blowing up the stack or hitting the problems with evaluation. So, okay, that's all what I prepared. So actually, if you want to play with the library Explore, I prepared a small roadmap how to dive into FS2, and there are my few tips about that. So at the beginning, be familiar with the string class itself. Create very simple, pure streams, then explore covariant and eval maps. So this is the methods that are required to to communicate with the outside world. Then play with the pool class, create own operators, because this is the crucial if you want to fully control of processing data. There are a lot of situations when you cannot do this with the normal methods that existed in the FS2 library, so you need to write own, and then explore the dragon land of the concurrency. There is the package to handle it, but this topic is very hard and deserves for separate presentations. And at the last thing, there's of course, you need probably interop with the other library solutions. So FS2 have possibility to combine streams from Monix, Akka, even from Java. And this is the very often situation. Probably you need some sources, connectors, and for example, Akka project have better solution for that. So why not to use? So thank you very much. Here is the link, and have a nice day.